Hello everybody, this is Will. Today we're going to be repairing the antenna nut of the XPR5550. Now, this type of repair requires us to do some soldering, so we're going to be doing some soldering. I have the part here with me actually, and this antenna nut has 5 pins which are going to be soldered. Now, in order to repair this XPR5550, first we need to take out the knob that is in front. And we're going to be taking out the knobs using our chase opener. Now, we also have another chase opener, which I'm going to be using next. And so now we have to take out the front head of the XPR5550, and we have to be careful when we were taking this out. It's because there is a flex cable that is in front of it, and if we don't pull it careful, we may damage the flex cable, and then we're gonna need to replace it as well. So we don't want to do that, so we have to be careful. So now next, we're gonna be taking out the black chasing of the XPR5550, again using our flat or chase. Now you may need to apply a little bit of force to take it, but it's going to come out. So it's not really difficult, I would say. It's just practice. But if you take a look at the video closely, I believe you can do it. Next, we're gonna be taking out night screws. Okay, now after we have taken out that night screws out, we're going to proceed to remove the shelf and the black gasket of the XPR5550. As you can see now, there is 3 more screws that we need to take out. Good job! Now you have removed all the screws from the main board, but hold on, you can still not take out the board. You will still need to take out the accessory port that is behind your XPR5550. It's also very important to mention that after you take out the black accessory port, which I'm taking out right now, you will also need to take out the antenna nut before you remove the board. And as you can see right now, there is screws at front as well, which will need to be removed. We also have flex cables at front of our XPR5550. So I will recommend you to remove it before you start taking out the board. Now what I'm doing right now is actually removing the lacquer. It is no screws there. It's just a lacquer that is holding the board in place. It's very simple. So you guys can see it right now. If you're trying to remove it, it won't get out. And the reason being it's because the antenna nut it's holding the board. So you can take out the antenna nut by using a wrench. I'm going to be using actually a long noodle pliers. Now how you remove the antenna, you actually need to rotate it and it should go out quickly and easy. So now if you are still want to try to remove to take out the main board, you will still not be able to. And the reason being it's because there is still some flex cables and screws that are holding your board up front. So we have 3 screws that we need to remove that are located up front. So, but first we are going to be taking out our flex cable. So we have 2 different boards there, little boards. The Now repair should be this should be very simple. Actually, uh, when you are removing the screws, it shouldn't be hard. And now, when you are trying to remove this board, right? Make sure it's connected to something. So you just should not pull it. Okay. Now it's out. There was another flex cable in it, and the GPS cable were also attaching to it. So I'm removing it. And now I want you to guess. What do you think? Can I still taking that out, or do I need to take out that board that is up front? Make a guess. Okay? So you do not. You do not need to take out the board that is in front of it. So you only need to remove one board. And your main board is out. So now the fun is about to begin. We're gonna start doing some soldering. So let's first mention that it is very important to use to wear a goggles to do this type of soldering. So I will highly recommend you get you a goggles. Safety is very important. So put your goggles on and let's roll. perfected antenna nut, we are ready to start soldering our good antenna nut. Good job! You have finished soldering, and now we are going to place our board back, and we're gonna place everything back so we can have our XPR5550 repair. So you want to make sure your chase is clear, there is no screws, it's clean inside, and then you're gonna get a board and you're gonna start placing it back. Okay, so you may have some difficulties placing it back, like your gasket maybe not properly at the line in it. So you may want to do the same thing I'm doing. So take out the power gasket and put it in the power. But if you do all the steps correctly, like you can see in the video, it should go like easy, and it should not be should not be difficult. Okay. Now we have to place the accessory port, and don't forget a gasket also. Make sure it aligns to the board, and it should go all the way in. All right. Now we're gonna start placing back the lacquer. The board lacquer, it's important. And now screws. Now the screws are in, and we are placing our gasket back. So make sure the gasket aligned properly. So after you finish putting the black gasket back, we can start placing back the small boards, which we should put it back at front of our XPR 5550. So I'm going to hook up the GPS cable back onto the little board, and then it's important to mention that the flex cable need to go to one of those holes, and I'll be showing you soon on. Okay, I'll be showing you soon how it's supposed to be, how which hole is supposed to be in. So just stay there, and I will show you where it's supposed to be in. So what I'm actually doing right now is actually making sure it is properly in, and that is the way it's supposed to be. Excellent. So now that you know where it's supposed to be, it's time to put the screws back. So remember there is 3 screws, so those 3 screws are gonna go back. It can be it can be sometimes a little bit like if you feel like the screws are not fitting in properly, maybe so try to use the other holes. But again, all those screws should be the same size. But sometimes you can feel like this is not fitting here, so just try to fit it somewhere in the other hole. But all those 3 screws that I'm dealing with right now should be the same size. But in case you are facing, don't worry about it, which screws should go where. They all the same. All right, so the screws are back, and so So it is important also now that we're gonna put back our front housing. eh, it is important the way are you putting the flex, because if you put in the flex the other way around, uh, the uh, the XPR 5550 will not turn on at all. So you wanna place your flex cable properly. Otherwise, uh, XPR5550 will not turn on, and you may think that you may have not repaired it or something is wrong. So now you can take a look. That is the proper way to put it. And actually what I'm trying to do right now, it's like make sure it actually went in properly. So you may have to look at many times to see the way if it's all the way in or if it's not. But yeah. Okay. Now I am looking at the board, right? And if you can see there is another flex cable that need to go into it. So don't forget about that flex cable and place it back as well. So also it's important to mention that the way you put that flex cable is gonna depend if your XPR5550 will turn on or not. Reason being it, if you put it the other way around, your XPR5550 will not turn on. So the way these flex cables are in, that is the way it's supposed to be. Okay, now that we have placed the flex cable back, screws are back, the board is back, we can put you can put the front head back, and also the, the black chasing. Now we're gonna be putting it back. Okay, way to go. We almost done. So now the we're gonna placing back the ring for the antenna nut that we just replaced. So as you notice, I'm using the same ring, the old ring, to to basically just to make it work because I didn't have a new ring, so I'm just using the old ring for the antenna net. But you can use a new one if you have one. But again, it will not affect any functionality at all. It's just that I didn't have it, so I'm just using the old one. Okay, you can put it back. Now you can tighten it if you have a range. Okay, it's it's almost done, and we are putting the knobs on, and we are done. So all we left now is just the test. So what I want to do now, it's actually, guys, showing you that it actually is going to turn on, right? Which is important. And then, of course, after this uh, repair, we should do the general test, which is the testing the radio, the actual radio. Really hope you find this video useful, and if you have this type of radios, at least you know now how to repair it. And soon I'm going to be doing another type of repair. We're gonna be doing type of repair like if the radio doesn't turn on, what you should do, what part should you replace, as well as if you don't have any RF power, what part should you replace, what part should you look for. So I will be showing you in deep uh, troubleshooting about this radio as well in the future videos. But I guess for now, uh, this is all I can give you guys now for now. So, but this will not be the last video. However, yes, to introduce and showing you how easy it is to repair this type of radios, because they are one of the best in the market today. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching.